ಹಲೋ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. I hope you are all happily staying at home with your parents and family members. Don't forget that you need to give the examinations in the days to come. Because of this COVID-19, we all know the examinations have been postponed and you are made to stay at home. So I request all the students to make this time as a best opportunity to prepare well for the examinations and to do well in the theory and practical examinations. So today I am going to discuss you on some of the important questions that have been given in the syllabus for unit wise. Now the unit 1 is electricity and DC circuits for second semester mechanical engineering students. Myself, Professor B.R. Umrane, Principal, SCP and Trust Polytechnic, NETSOC. Now the unit 1 is electricity and DC circuits. In the first chapter, the question number 1 is state the sources of electrical energy. Whatever the sources we get here to produce the electrical energy, they are categorized into two types. One is renewable energy sources. Now these sources are the energy sources which are produced continuously in nature and are unlimited. Means these sources are available naturally and they are reproduced continuously. Examples of the renewable energy sources are solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy and hydroelectric energy. These energy sources are available naturally and they are reproduced continuously. The second type of sources of electrical energy is non-renewable energy sources. Energy sources that are existing in the earth and they cannot be recovered after they are used to produce the electrical energy. Examples of non-renewable energy sources are thermal energy, nuclear energy, etc. Now once thermal energy is produced, electricity is produced using the thermal energy by a naturally available fuel as a coal. Once the coal is burned to produce the heat, this using this heat the electricity is produced. Now once the coal is burned, it cannot be reused once again, so it is called as a non-renewable energy sources. Similar to the thermal energy, we get nuclear energy sources, and this also comes in the category of non-renewable energy sources. Now the second question is state 5 effects of electric current with an example for each. Now the electrical energy is used to convert the energy from one form to the another form. Based on that we have the first effect is heating effect. Now here the electrical energy is converted into a heat energy. When the electric current passes through a high resistivity conducting material, the electrical energy is converted into a heat energy. Examples of heating effect is electric iron, electric heater, electric bulb, etc. The second effect of electric current is magnetic effect. When electric current passes through a coil, it produces a magnetic field and is called magnetic effect. Now using this magnetic effect, motor, generator and the transformers will operate. Now the third effect is mechanical effect. Here the electrical energy is converted into a mechanical energy. Examples of mechanical effect are electric motors, electric cars, cranes, etc. Sound effect. Here the electrical energy is converted into a sound energy. Examples of sound effect are electric bell, electric horn, amplifier, etc. The fifth one is chemical effect. When electric current passes through a liquid, it causes chemical reaction to occur in the liquid. Examples of chemical effect are electroplating, secondary cells, etc. Now the third question is define and mention the SI units of electric current and the voltage. So what is electric current? The electric current is defined as The rate of flow of electrons in a conducting material is called the electric current. When a potential difference is applied across the conducting material, the free electrons available on the outermost orbit of a conducting material gets sufficient electromotive force and they move from one point to the another point. So the rate at which the electrons are flowing in a conductor is called the electric current. The SI unit of electric current is ampere. Now let us define what is voltage. Voltage. The capacity of a charged body to do work is called voltage. The SI unit of voltage is volts. It is denoted by a capital letter V. Now, let us come to a question number 4. Define and mention the SI units of potential difference, resistance. The first one is a potential difference. The difference in potentials of a two charged bodies is called the potential difference. The SI unit of a potential is volts. Now let us come to a second definition is resistance. So what do you mean by resistance? Every electrical material has the property of opposing the current flowing through it when a potential difference is applied. So the property of a conductor which opposes the flow of electric current is known as a resistance. The SI unit of resistance is ohm. It is denoted by a capital letter R. Now let us come to a question number 5. In this, define electric current, voltage and mention the meters used to measure them. The answer is, what is electric current? As you know, I have explained earlier in the earlier question, the rate of flow of electrons in a conductor is called electric current. Its unit is ampere. Now there are meters used to measure the current flowing through a wire in the given circuit or in a conducting material. The name of the meter that is used to measure the electric current in a given circuit is called ammeter. This ammeter is connected in series with the electrical load or the in series with the resistance. Now voltage, as already I have defined, the capacity of a charged body to do work is called voltage. The SI unit of voltage is volts. Then the meter used to measure the voltage is voltmeter. This voltmeter is connected across the supply or the input voltage, which will measure what is the voltage applied across the load resistance or the electrical load. Remember, the voltmeter is the meter that is used to measure the voltage. Now let us come to a question number 6. Mention any 5 applications of electrical energy. What are the applications of electrical energy, he is asking. So where this electrical energy is applied, that you have to mention. The first application is electrical heater, fuse, electric iron, etc. These are called heating equipments wherein the electrical energy is converted into heat energy. The second application is electrical bulbs, LED bulbs, CFL lamps, etc., where the electrical energy is converted into a light energy. The third application of electrical energy is electric motors, cranes, electric cars, etc., wherein the electrical energy is converted into a mechanical energy. The fourth application is it is used in medical healthcare to operate medical equipments in the hospitals. Fifth application is amplifiers, microphones, etc., where the electrical energy is converted into a sound energy. The sixth application is coolers, fans, air conditioners, etc., where the electrical energy cools the surrounding air. So there are plenty of applications of electrical energy, but only few of them have been mentioned here. If you write about 5 to 6 applications of electrical energy, definitely you will get out of marks. Then the question number 7 is state 5 advantages of electrical energy over other forms of energy. The answer is, means there are many other forms of energy. We have a diesel generator, to produce the electrical energy, and we have the electrical generator which produces the electrical energy by making use of the renewable and non-renewable energy sources. So the first advantage of electrical energy is it is clean and healthy energy source. So there are no any the first advantage is it is clean and healthy energy source. The second advantage is it can be transmitted over a long distance through the transmission line with a minimum losses. Third advantage is it can be converted from one form to the other form of energy very easily. The fourth advantage is it travels at the speed of light. We know the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. With that speed of light, the electrical energy can be transmitted from one place to the another place through a transmission network. Now the fifth advantage is it is easy to control and monitor. The power can be reduced and the power can be raised. So using suitable equipments and electrical, it is very easy to control and monitor the electrical energy. The sixth advantage is it is much cheaper than the other forms of electrical energy. So these are the few advantages of electrical energy over the other forms of energy. Now let us come to a question number 8. So this says that distinguish between the conductor and the insulators. Now, with respect to electrical engineering, the materials can be of three types. One is conductors, insulators, and the semiconductors. What do you mean by conductor? It's a material which does not, which forms closed. Conductor means it's a material which allows the electric current to flow through it very easily. That another type of electrical materials are the insulators. So these are the materials which do not allow the flow of electric current. So the first difference is allow the flow of current very easily. Insulator part do not allow the flow of current. Then the second difference is resistance of a conducting material is very low, and then resistance of a insulator is very high. Third difference is the conductivity of a conductors is more and the conductivity of insulator is less. The fourth difference is resistance increases with the increase in temperature. Then the fourth difference in case of insulator is resistance decreases with a decrease in temperature. This property we call it as negative temperature coefficient of resistance. Then the next difference is conductors are usually metals and the insulators are usually the non-metals. Then the conductors are used to conduct the electric current, whereas the insulators are used to prevent from the electric current. Examples of conducting materials are copper, gold, aluminum. Examples of insulating materials are rubber, plastic, wood. Now let us come to question number 8. So distinguish between conductors and the insulators. Now as I already said, so electrical with respect to electrical engineering is concerned, so there are three types of materials: conductors, insulators, and the semiconductors. I have told what is conductor and insulators. Now what is semiconductor? It's a type of electrical material whose conductivity lies between conductors and the insulators. By adding impurity to the semiconducting material, right, so the conductivity of semiconductor can be varied, right? Such type of materials we call it as a semiconductors. Now let us come to let us understand what are the differential properties between the conductors and the semiconductors. The first difference is conductors allow the flow of current very easily. Then in case of a semiconductors, current flow depends upon impurity added to it. Then the second difference is conductivity of a conductor is high. Then in case of a semiconductor, conductivity is moderate. Now resistivity is low in conductors, then the resistivity is moderate in semiconductor. Next difference, resistance increases with increase in temperature. In case of a semiconductor, resistance decreases with the decrease in temperature. Now, the next difference is current is caused by the presence of only free electrons in case of a conductor, and in case of a semiconductor, current is caused by the presence of free electrons and holes. Examples of conducting materials are the gold, copper, gold, aluminum, etc. Examples of a semiconductors are silicon, germanium, etc. So with this, let us stop today, and I request all the students to utilize this time very effectively, and I request you all to spend at least around 6 to 10 hours for the preparation of your theory examinations. Don't be under the impression that examinations will be postponed, or there will be no examinations this semester due to the COVID-19, right? So do not listen to such gossip information that is spreading across all the students. Always keep in mind that at any cost examinations will be conducted, maybe whatever the date the DT will announce you. So don't focus on to such unwanted information that is reaching to the students. Examinations will be conducted, and make this is an opportunity given by God to all of us to study more and more and to do well in the examinations. In the next video, we will discuss the remaining questions. Thank you. We'll see in the next video.